Hi everyone, this is Brenda with AOMed. Today I'm going to be doing some training on our new Korean brand that we brought into AOMed. It's called Trandmi. So the first step I'm going to be doing is going to be the Radiance Double Cleanser. This has the ability to take up all the makeup off, so you only have to do one cleanse as opposed to doing maybe an oil cleanse and then a milky cleanser. This has 7 kinds of herbal extracts that act as probiotics, and we all know the benefits to that. So I'm just going to get going with that. I'm going to do 1 pump of that. Going to work it around in my gloves. This is a gel cleanser, so it's not going to have the foaming action that you would normally be used to. How does it feel?
It smells really good too.
Comes a hot towel. How's the hot temperature? Okay. Now you could also take this off with sponges or 4x4s. But it's getting a little bit chilly here in Colorado, so I wanted to do the warm towels. Now the next step that I'm going to do is I'm going to incorporate a little bit of our Dr. Platon cold plasma, because all the other steps that I'm doing after this step, I want it to penetrate the skin up to 25%. And those of you that are not familiar with our Dr. Platon, it is a professional device that's 4 times stronger than our Tonisher that has the cold plasma and the galvanic that you can retail. And cold plasma is just these gases that creates this environment inside your skin, kind of like these gas pockets, that's going to go all the way down to the dermis level. It's going to help with pigment. It's going to, of course, help product penetration by up to 24-25% over the next 12 hours. After you do this, you want to make sure that you do the cold plasma on dry skin. So I'm just going to kind of go over with this 4x4, get any dampness off her skin. Now with the cold plasma, there's actually 3 different size tips. The tip that I'm going to be doing is going to be the medium size one. And I'm going to set it on setting 4. Now this will also have a lifting effect. And for the sake of the video, I'm not going to do this for the whole 40 minutes that I normally would do. So I'm just going to kind of do a little bit to show you how I do it. You can do a lot of contouring with this. You can do where the tip is totally touching the skin. You can kind of do it as an angle that's going to be a little bit more stronger for your clients. They're going to feel a little bit more of the zappiness. This is also going to sterilize the skin. And if you have someone that has acne, this is going to kill bacteria up to 40% on your first treatment, okay? One of the reasons why I wanted to do this is because one of Carrie's concerns is pigment. And so after this, we're going to go in and do some things that are going to be helping break up some of that pigment. Now, if I was going to be doing LED with this treatment, my choice would be red and green combined. But if you don't have the ability to combine them, then I would do green, that's going to break up the pigment, and then red is actually going to help with the inflammation. I like doing LED on clean, dry skin, but of course, you got to go by what your manufacturer is telling you. All right, so after the cold plasma, the Dr. Platon, I'm going to do the Seawater Skin Recovery Toner. Now, this is very hydrating. It also has niacinamide in it that's going to help with whitening and brightening of the skin. It's going to have great ingredients to help combat wrinkles. It also has salmon eggs in it, and that is a great omega-3 that's actually going to go in there and help with inflammation as well. And of course, it has deep sea water in it, which is rich in minerals and all of that. It also has 6 different peptides and naturally derived ingredients. It's going to minimize skin irritation. So this line is all about going in and helping with the skin barrier and reducing skin irritation. How does this toner feel?
Really good.
Now, and it smells amazing.
Yeah.
So, since this is the first thing that I've done after doing the cold plasma on Carrie, this is going to go down a little bit deeper, and the effects is just going to, her skin's just going to suck in all this toner. Okay, now the next step I'm going to do is going to be the Trandmi Vitamin C solution. Okay, now this has 1,000 parts per million on a vitamin C derivative. It also has 100 parts per million on collagen. And what is really, really popular right now is to combine the Dr. Ion C with this. In fact, on the website, we have these two as a bundle. I'm not going to combine these right now. I'll do another separate video and show you how to do that. But those two products is really, really hot in Korea right now. So this Trandmi Vitamin C, make sure that it gets on camera here. I'm going to use a little needleless syringe to draw some of it out. And then what I'm going to do, because this works especially with something that's going to push it down in even deeper, so you can do the Tonisher Galvanic to push it down deeper. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the electrophoresis from the Dianso 310. That's one of my favorite ways to push products down. So I'm going to have Carrie hold the little grounding bar with your left hand, love. Now, I want to reiterate that since we did the cold plasma, anything that we do after the cold plasma is just going to be driven down deeper. So she's going to get some really, really good results just from this one application. Okay, I'm going to start on your forehead. If you have the Cold Plus that also has electrophoresis, you can use that to drive this down. Again, the galvanic tip on the Tonisher would be also great. Those of you that have the Otoderm, you can totally do this after you remove the whipping mask or after you apply the Cavapla, after removing the whipping mask. And then since this is a leave-on product, you can do your revitalizing ampule on top of that. and then go on to your energy cream if you were doing that. But this is going to work great with anything that's ionized, anything that's electrophoresis. So she's going to get the benefits of the brightening, and she's also going to get the benefits of pushing collagen down into her skin as well. How's the current on that? Can you feel it up in your hairline?
No.
Okay.
What do you mean? What?
Okay, so sometimes when you're working around the hairline, when you're using like galvanic, or in this case, I'm using the electrophoresis on the Dianso 310, you can kind of feel your scalp tingling a little bit.
Oh, gotcha.
And so that's why I kind of ask my client how they're feeling, if it's being tingly. If they're not really feeling anything, then you can up it a little bit. But I'm just going to kind of leave it on 10 for right now. So again, we're using the Vita C with collagen from the Trandmi line. It's an ampule. I won't have to use the entire ampule on her today. So anything that I don't use, I'm just going to put in the refrigerator and probably use within the next week or two. It does come in an amber bottle. So anything typically that comes in an amber bottle, you're going to want to make sure that you don't get air to it. And you need to store it in like the refrigerator with the lid on. Okay, so the next product I wanted to show you is the Derma. Let me get it on camera here. The Derma Sika K Detox Cream. Now, if I had to do some extractions, which I do not have to today, I would be putting this on afterwards. So it's going to help heal the skin from bruising, pigmentation. The vitamin K is great to reduce bruising. And I would do that. I would just do maybe a pea size and kind of dot it on there and just then kind of pat it on the skin. But since she doesn't have any extractions, I'm not going to do that, but I did want to mention that. The next thing I'm going to be doing is going to be this product, and it's the NPDRN Elasta Core Cream. This has sodium DNA of 100,000 parts per million, and it also has salmon in it, which that's what that is, and this has PDRN in it and salmon egg in it. This is a great product to go in and super hydrate. So I'm a little bit generous whenever I do this. I probably use maybe a nickel size. How does this feel?
Good. They all smell really good.
Now, PDRN is, again, from salmon DNA. And anytime that you're using salmon DNA, it's going to be pretty much like a 95% similarity to human DNA. So when you look at the two under the microscope, they're very, very similar, which is why PDRN is so amazing for going in and helping with texture issues, hydration, things to that nature. Okay, so once you get that massaged in really well, And I normally do that without any gloves, but we're working with it. The next thing I'm going to be doing is the UV Defense All Day Sunscreen. This has SPF 50 in it. And this is a nice sunscreen as well. Now, whenever I'm working with sunscreen, I like to do more of a, I'll blend it for a little bit, but then I really like pushing it down into the skin. So then I feel like I'm getting more of an even application on it. So there you go. There's some of the products from the new Trandmi line where I've incorporated the Dr. Platon Cold Plasma and the electrophoresis from the Dianso 310. And if you have any questions, reach out to me at brenda.aomedusa@gmail.com, or you can text me or call me here in the Colorado office, which is 719-654-3623.